Hi guys, welcome back to an Explain 12 video. So we're moving back to the other sim after having done a couple of videos in P3D version 5. And we are in Hawaii at Kahului Airport, which I guess this A330, I think it's the A330, is it? Or is it the 76? God, I'm not sure sometimes with these. Maybe maybe it is the 767 actually. That's the feeling I'm getting based on just looking at the engines. But it could be that I'm wrong, because I know they have A330s, but they have had historically they had 767s, right? But yeah, never mind. So we're here at Kahului Airport, and we're flying to Hilo. I think so. I think that's what it's called in Google. Hilo International Airport. Yeah, Hilo, Hawaii. So a nice Hawaiian flight. And yeah, I have some freeware, pretty nice area, a bit kind of better looking airport. So that's nice. Is that someone coming in for landing? Looks like an Airbus A320. And we are today going to be flying the Dash 100 by, and I'm gonna make sure I say this right, Manky. I think it's Manky or something originally Christian Riviere, and then I guess this Manky 1 person has kind of updated it. So this is the one we're going to be flying today. You can see my co-pilot is already in his seat, no pilot. And it's a pretty good, I mean it's a freeware aircraft, I think for Explain 11 originally, but it's, you know, it's not perfect, but it's very nice, and it's the best Dash 100 out there. Or is it Q100? I always manage to forget the name of that. Let me just check here so I'm not gonna be saying it wrong. So Series 100. So Dash, is it Dash 8 Q100? That must be it. Okay. Probably gonna forget that anyway. Let's see if we can go on board. I think we can travel like this. Unfortunately, we're a bit too tall. So, but yeah, we'll walk a bit weirdly, like a child. But pretty good, nice inside and a pretty nice cockpit as well. Let's get boarding. I'm gonna check if we have a working ground handling. I'm not sure if it works with all of these kind of freeware ones. Doesn't seem like there's any model for that, so we're just gonna press ESC, and that should get us back into the normal groove. And here we have the configuration. As you can see, it's definitely a freeware cockpit, but it's a very well done one. A bit of weirdness with some of the autopilot things, but I mean, considering it's freeware, it's pretty good. I do think like when you reach this kind of level in terms of systems, a lot of the switches are working. They should put a bit more focus on fixing the textures, but I mean, if you're doing it freeware, right, it's a bit can be a bit hard to kind of make the case that you should do that, right? So we'll be appreciative of what we have. I haven't read any documentation. I'm just gonna follow what I've understood by flying the Q400. You can actually, though, interesting enough, because this is an older model, right? You can choose between the displays, so you can fly analog or we can fly digital. Analog is, I guess, a bit more fun, and then you would still have it here, I think, the screen. So let's maybe do that. Yeah, let's try that. I don't think there's any other changes. Knock on wood. I don't think we need to change anything else. No. Not sure what this one does, the ref switch. Well, I'll keep it on no. Armored positions up, that makes sense. Persons flying, yeah, it's us, because we want the EFB on this side. And I do wonder, do we have any charts for Hilo? Or can we find any online? It's always... We can find some diagrams, but best I got was the ILS for 2.6. Maybe ChartFox will have some. I mean, interestingly enough, we do have a lot of the info online. But let me see, what was the suggestion, right? Because I think you're supposed to be... No, not this one. But isn't there like a providers, ChartFox? I'm not sure how that works. We do have the approach. We're supposed to be landing at runway 21, but I think we shouldn't do that because I'm not sure if this one is RNAV certified. I mean, we do have some sort of advisory, so might as well do runway 26 instead. But let's see. But before we do anything, let's just get things rolling. And I think we can put all of these, and for the external power one, and we can start these as well. So that's good. And we do have a photo reel actually, so covering all of Hawaii, so it should be a bit nicer. But let's see once we get up in the air. I've been meaning to show you the photo reel of Hawaii for a while, but just never came to be. And I did also, let me just make sure I get this one right, 306. And let me check pilot to ADC, and we can actually do it first, and I'm just gonna change the setting to US. And then what we'll do is we'll import the flight plan, because I did create one. I think the call sign for this one is Moku, something like that. So let's try and use it, see how it works. We don't have anything for the approach, which is actually good in this case. But we don't have any SIDS or star either. We do have, oh sorry, we do have a star actually. It's the beach one. I will be doing Harpo, so we can load that SID. And then for arrival for 2.1, but if we change to 2.6, we do have Lynchy, and we're coming at Arbor. So the question is, we do also have the Ito one, but I'm wondering if it might be easier to do just do one of these, specifically this one, right? Because I'm pretty sure we're gonna come kind of exactly the same as, so if we're doing China, how would it work? Let me go back actually, because the way we would have to do this is we would have to delete some. So Beach and Harpo is fine. Paris we could delete. And now it will be Paris Harbor. So we can delete that again. And we can delete Arbor. and we can delete PHTO, and there we should get a pretty nice flight plan. So let's try to insert this. This should work, hopefully. In terms of approaches, otherwise, I think we can do the ILS. We're coming for Ken's, so we can load that as our approach. I'll go back. And I'm gonna validate our flight plan. I'm gonna connect us to the sim. This is always a bit of a test, see if it works or not. Unable to connect to the plugin. Normal AI traffic will be used. But that's fine. I mean, that won't kill us. We can file. I'm not hearing any 80s, but it seems like we don't have radios on yet, to be aware. We have this file, and let me see if I can activate approach. Yeah, because we're not gonna get anything different based on the settings I still have. But we need to figure out how to start all of these. And the weird part is that we do seem to have everything. I mean, technically it should be working. Let me see if we do position. Number 1 and 2. There's always something, right? Maybe we just need the APU. But before we do that, let's do our route. And the best way to do that is by going to flight plan, clearing it, and then we can just put in the actual the airports we are flying. Oh, how did it write that? So well, I mean, it was probably me who did it wrongly, but let me put it PHTO. We can't put runway, but what we can do, I don't think we can put too much else. I don't even think there's a. Let me see if we have. No, it doesn't seem some sort of arrival data, but that's only for the index. So 05 and beach, Harpo, and then after Harpo it's basically let me see now actually if it's yes, because we're going Harpo, and then after Harpo it's basically the arrival. So 26 Ritchie, Ritchie 1. Wait, let me see now, because we're gonna do Ken's. We're doing Paris, and I'm wondering which one we're doing for the approach. Ritchie 1. Is it the Chilean one we're doing, or? Must be. This is me trying to figure it out. What's the transition? Is it Paris? It's a bit of an odd one. Don't recall which one I chose. Okay, that should be fine. We still have the same, so we can go back. So Chine. And let me actually see if we can put this on. This will give us a display of the flight plan. So you can have this. That's why I kind of like flying the analog ones, because you can still have this one. And it will work pretty neatly like that. That should give us the whole flight up till landing. Happy days. We can enter that. Now we should have a very nice flight plan. Let me see if we can get a better mode. You can see we go up and then back. I think this should be a good mode, or a reasonable mode at least. Yeah, we are going up to 15,000, so I'm just gonna put in the altitude select for now. We need to keep these in wait a second. How do you fly with the analog ones? Where do you choose so you get the right nav? That's a very good question. Because I really wanted to fly with that, but I've only done it once with the digital one. Because you have to put this into our nav. So in order to not get any issues, I'm gonna change the digital one. Sorry about that, guys. Because I just know how that one works after I've done a test flight. Guess we can have that on taxi. It's not the best sounds, they have okay sounds, it's freeware, right? But I guess it could be better. Let me see, I'm trying to figure out if I'm forgetting something that I should do in order to get things working. There should be rain effects and stuff, so that's pretty cool. Guess we can put those heaters on. Since we do have time, and since it seems like we do have, I mean it's weird because I can change to the clearance, but let me just try. We'll do APU power start, and I think it's quite quick. Not sure where you can see it on this one though, but it's somewhere. And there we have the generator, the bleed air. And I think with that you can then shut off the rest. And let's try just to see. Moku 4003 ready to copy, IFR clearance. Yeah, we're getting nothing at all. Nothing at all. What's going on? TCAS is on. Could there be some setting, armrests, FMC pop-up display? Anything? I can't get my radios working. I mean, it's not gonna be the end of the world. We'll fly without it. Worst case scenario, but I do kind of like it. Let's also do the Luke Air tool at least. So we have that. We'll do the Dash 400. That will do a sufficient flight number. Let's just. I mean, this should not be Aerospatiale, but okay. Use cabin crew. Yeah, why not? Number of packs. I'll put it like really low just to get it to work. Use auto. Ooh, that's a good question. We don't really have an airline for this one. Can we remove, or is it? Do we have Hawaiian, for example? Let's just do Delta, see what that does. Start the simulation. Well, this is frustrating. Not getting the radios. Let me see if I can find Manky 1-100 radio. Yeah, no clue. Maybe it's just a connection between the sim and that's maybe what's breaking it. But I'm gonna check quickly because I have some manual, right? Anything we can change? Oh, that's still on. I mean, technically it's working, but it's yeah. At the same time, it's not working. So I guess we might be flying without without that. I'll start boarding the 5 passengers that we have. No boarding music. I'll move that down. I'm just gonna get going and see what happens. We only need 2 more packs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Delta Sky Team and our global partners, welcome on board your Delta flight. As you're making your way to your seat, we kindly ask that you please
That's
step into
interesting.
your
So
row
it
in the
does
middle
have
aisle
some
as
of
quickly
the.
as possible to allow those passengers behind you to make their way to their seat as well. If you're traveling with a larger rollerboard, please place any
Interesting.
overhead bins, either
I
wheels
didn't
or
actually
canvas
know
tops
they
on
already
either
had
side of the
some of
aircraft. Keeping in mind that the overhead bin space is shared space,
the
so if
safety
the instructions
stuff
on your seat is already
incorporated in
full,
Luke
please
Air
go ahead
tool.
and
That's
utilize
very
the
nice.
remaining
Then I don't
available
need
space.
to make mine make some
If
of
you
them
brought a
myself.
second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag, laptop bag, backpack, you can go ahead and utilize that space under the seat in front of you,
Engine start
so that we can utilize that
2.
overhead bin space for your larger bags without
Let's
having to
start
check
with
in plain
engine
sight to your
start
final
2, I
destination.
think. Starter
Feel free to utilize your
switches to
mobile phones,
start.
tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate.
That's on
However, once we
takeoff.
close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular
Yeah, I mean,
service.
we're not gonna need to. We're gonna do a
Please also
around
note that if you will
100
be
for
working on a
VR.
laptop computer or enjoying any other
Let's
larger electronic devices, they must be stowed either in a bag under the seat in front of you or in the overhead bins. Please do
let's
not stow these items in the seat
start
pocket
it.
in front of you. Place them directly on the
I just
floor
want to see
or
if I
hold
can
them
get
on your
the
butt during
radios
taxi, takeoff, and
working.
landing. This is not just a Delta policy, but an FAA regulation for your safety.
So it is starting. That's good. Okay, we have that working or up and about. Guess we can go to minimums. I'll start the left one. Coming online. Still no radios though, so let's see a bit once we start switching things up if anything positive happens. Auto feather. This guy and his damn hand. Oh, sorry, woman maybe. Stop pointing it. Please. We can go to max, I guess, because you would usually do that for takeoff. Let's see, we have the brake set now, after I almost forgot it. Okay, we can get those. PHTO heat, statics, parking brake, APU. Oh, it's because it's on, right? Those are the bleeds, recircling air. That one seems to be unmovable. Seat belt and no smoking. Taxi lights. Gen. APU power. Was there a stop switch? Oh, I can't see it now. Okay. Super weird though. I mean, it could have been that I couldn't connect to the... Maybe I haven't been able to properly set it up with X, but I mean, I'm connected. Ignore avionics switch. Ignore battery switch. Maybe I can just do that, see. Moku 4003, ready to copy, IFR clearance. Or maybe the problem is that I'm not connected to the sim. I mean, I am connected, but at the same time I'm not. Yeah, that's odd. Display speech. I can't seem to. So we'll be flying without PHTO. It's weird. I need to check if it's my X-plane. It's not the end of the world, but it's of course would have been nice to fly with the ATC because I really like this new one. But at least on the positive side of things, we learned something new with Luke Air Tool. We'll do a flaps 10, should be fine, right? I'll release the parking brakes. And now let's try to figure out where we are heading. We're going to runway 5, right? So we should go to the left here. Let's add a bit of thrust. Fortunately, the sounds of the plane is a bit low. And it is, well, maybe the taxiing isn't too bad, but I guess it's helped by X-plane having pretty nice taxiing characteristics. If we put on that one, so localizer we want to do on aux, and then you want to do nav. So now it should be on nav mode, even though it says localizer. Don't ask me how. Altitude select. Well, it wants me up to 24,000, but I'm gonna go to 15. I don't think there's any point going higher than that. In terms of VS, you can have that at 18,000 to begin with. But that's super low. I'm just gonna check my system sound, see if they... Well, seems to work. Odd. Well, let's just, yeah, let's do our best here. And actually I'm gonna just stop here. We'll put on our lights. Is it red or white you want? Let's just keep white. I don't think it, I mean, it won't matter in the end too much. But let's see, we want to change the view of this one, and the way you do that is here. So map like that. That should be sufficient.
Approaching 0-5.
The problem is that the ambience is quite okay, I put it to low ambience volume. I don't want to hear the people in the background. This should hopefully be a quick flight. But let's see. Let's try to do this somewhat right. It has a auto brake. Does it have that in real life? Seems a bit odd, but maybe. If we're doing the analogs, we seem to be able to switch between them. I just want to check. How do you know if you're flying? It's saying 4.6. Well, maybe it works without it. You just need to do the auxiliary one. If that's the case, let's give it a try. See a bit how it works. I mean, could be fun if we can do the analog. Okay. Let's get going. I need to move a bit so I can see something. Oh, sorry, that's my my thumbnail. I like to take at least one picture before I get going, and then I can always change my mind once I'm up in the air. Okay, let's see. Maybe we can force it a bit. There's no rush, to be honest. Okay, almost at 100. Did we close the doors? Looks like we did. Oh! Yeah, that might... That's why you shouldn't check if you close the doors once you're taking off. Well, we managed to take off somewhat reasonably. Let me see, I haven't really set up the views, so they are a bit off. Okay, but are we now flying towards the intercept point? And shouldn't we be turning to the right here? And this is why it is, I'll go back to the digital ones. Oh no, sorry. It's actually different on the... That's interesting. Okay, very interesting. Sorry about that, guys. It is actually different. Let me try with the autopilot on. There's a difference between what PHTO gave me with the same flight plan and what this one gave me. So this is correct, I think. We just need to go back to the localizer or the nav mode. We are climbing, maybe a bit too fast. We can do 1300. We can shut the taxi lights already. Here we can see beautiful Hawaii. And let me actually start to fix some a bit better viewpoints. Something, I'm trying to figure out a good, something like this could be a good viewpoint. Maybe want one in the front as well, like we usually do the GoPro viewpoint. So there we go. And then what we actually want to do, and I just realized I haven't set that up, is the XP realistic. So head anticipation, all of these, I'm gonna put them a bit lower just because I do prefer, I don't know if it's because I threw that in pre-3D, but I do having them a bit lower when I'm, and it looks to be flying relatively well now and in accordance with the flight plans. That's nice to see. I'm also gonna push down a bit on the touchdown ones, and then I'll close XP realistic. We don't want to keep the props at maximum if I am not mistaken. We want to go to flap 0 as well. Anything else we need to do? My co-pilot. Interesting that I didn't try to feminize the word pilot to pilotess instead or something like that. Like they do with quite a few words. Bus fault reset. I'm just trying to check if there's anything that I might have missed. Flight recorder, no. Yeah, we're coming back in now. So it'll be a bit of a, not a super long flight, but a long enough. Let's see if we can get some nicer viewpoints as well. Could we have something here maybe? Maybe something in the back. Oh, look at that. Some. Are we in the cabin? Sorry, not the cabin, but the, what's it called? The hold for the baggages. Maybe this could be another one. So now we have some okay viewpoints. Should probably set up a few more. Maybe one for the other side as well. It's maybe a bit too much PBR on the inside. That's the problem. I tried to do some tweaking in P3D with PBR on the inside, but the problem I found is that it becomes a bit too much. You need to find some way to level that off. I guess one thing to do is like to choose what things you put PBR on, but also to be a bit better at how you put the PBR, and I'm not good enough for that, so some point maybe. Well, look at this, you even have this sun protector. So it's actually, I must say, I'm very surprised at the kind of depth. This is really made by someone who's competent, and that's nice to see with these aircrafts that are let's see, we're on flight, that are freeware. Usually shows that someone who, you know, might have a specific fondness for the aircraft type or similar. Okay, but nothing for helo. How's it looking? We're flying here over the cities on the coast. Looking pretty good. I was thinking if this is also Volcano Island, but I'm not sure if there's a volcano on this side. I guess they're all volcano creations to a certain extent, right? But I guess the main one is on the island where we're going to now. And I presume they're still active, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, the photoreal, it's still a bit, the question I have is always the lights, like how does the effect in terms of, I think like the clouds and the sky looks really good. The scenery is maybe not as, I do still think photoreal in P3D looks a bit better. I mean, it's not a big difference, just kind of my personal preference. Okay, and we are gonna be turning very shortly towards the left. We can actually add quite a bit of thrust. We're going very slow, and we can also climb a bit slower, I would say. There's no point climbing too fast. Have we?
We do recommend that you keep them on as we can get unexpected turbulence. Thank you.
Well, now we have. Okay, we are speeding a bit faster now.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our cruising altitude,
Jesus.
I'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you, and a welcome back to our SkyMile members and Million Milers. Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the
What
seatbelt
happened
sign is
there?
on. Even if the sign is off, please keep
bit
your
of a
seatbelt fastened in
bug.
case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff. We've now reached an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices, and a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you.
What's that, some sort of golf area, or is it, why is it a bit
On today's flight in
greener?
the economy cabin, it'll be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eats items and all-day goodies. Beer, wine, and spirits are available complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our
Maybe I
fresh
shouldn't
eats
have
items,
selected
can
an
be found in the
airline.
menus in
Got
your
more
seat
the
pocket.
generic one.
Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks.
Okay, still climbing.
However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases.
We're not flying Delta.
For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV
Okay,
shows,
100
movies,
nautical
and
miles
music.
left, so still some times to go, or
You'll
some
find
way
that
to
this
go.
screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets.
We're going quite a
Otherwise,
bit
if you need a
faster
headset,
now. Make sure we
just let
don't
a flight attendant
overspeed.
know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
What's this one? Air high. Oh, this is to open. So here we can see. This is, I guess, to make it a bit easier to be and to be aware of where all these throttles are at. So, for example, the left throttle is a bit. Let's see if we can get it aligned. Well, almost. These look really good, actually, I must say. So the instruments look good. I think it's just the general one. If they can improve the texturing here and there, it's gonna shape up very nicely, this aircraft. Oh, another little whoop. Is that clean air turbulence we're experiencing, or just some annoyingness? Well, let me close pilot to ADC so we save a bit of CPU for whatever reason. Okay, still at around, or maybe it's a bit more, 130, something like that, miles to go. Actually, I don't even know when to start top of descent in this time. I mean, logically after China, we should probably start descending. But that's in... Well, we can start descending maybe at the Lono. Maybe Lono could be good. Good compromise. Yeah, let's do Lono. Good, let me move this one away. Would have been nice to have the charts, but can't always get what you want. We can use the map though. So this one will give us some nice views of where we're at, what the situation is. And let's see, are we coming up on... So wait, that must be like full thrust. And then we have these other levels, right? I guess this power detents. I don't know if I had a setting for that. Detents? Nope. You can also change the type, right, to the 200. Not sure if there's too big of a difference there, but it's good to be aware. I'll put in max or auto brake 2, just so we have that. I mean, otherwise it looks fine. You know, if we wanna open those, or if we need to open those. We don't have any flaps. So that's good. What about the ground steering? Maybe I missed that one. Yes, we have an off and an on there. Still some ways to go, but not super long. I mean, we're barely climbing. We have altitude select, so it should be fine. Let's go outside a bit since it's not too heavy on the sound, this one. I mean, look at this. I really like the views in Hawaii, both in P3D and this. It's actually come up on one of my lists of places to visit now with New Zealand. That would be very nice. Okay, let's see. We are now getting to our altitude. I want to see if the altitude select works. It does work. So that's very nice to see. And I'll be back very shortly. I'm just gonna leave it for a bit, handle some stuff. So see you soon. Let's continue. Sorry, I had to pause just in between. Realized I had to fix some things that would take a bit longer. But let's see. Lono. That's where we're gonna start descending. Let's make sure everything else is still looking fine and dandy, and it is. Let's have a look on the map. You can use GeoTIFF if you want, that's interesting. So Hilo. We are coming down from runway 26, which I guess if that's north, it's this one, right? 26. Is it really that the short one? Now let me actually check separately, of course. the actual. So I have it open here on my other screen. The localizer is at 110.7. We have to set it directly in the game because of the risk, or not the risk, but because it won't work otherwise. So 110. 110.7 and a 259 course. So that should be the active one right now, I hope. And course, I think we have well, that should be 259. We'll have to set that when we change kind of the nav selector. It's a bit funny how we've been switching between digital and analog, but at least the analog one works. So 259. So about that, now we have the heading one at least set. So we're now at China and we'll be at Lono. Now let's see if we have enough. We should have reasonably enough time to let's just zoom out on this one and check. Can you change the that is a good question. Can you change those? Maybe it's this one, the data one, right? So if we zoom down, we change mode. Okay, so you have a bit of different data. Now you can put on the weather radar as well. That's pretty nice. Sweet, pretty neat. Let me zoom down a bit. So we're about 80 nautical miles. A bit less maybe from the airport. Maybe we can actually already start. We can see now the big Hawaiian island of yeah, which one is it? It's let me see. Hawaii. Oh, so the big island is called Hawaii. Interesting. I had no clue. But things you learn. So if we go down to 8,000 here, we should already also have turned off the landing lights. I forgot that totally, to be honest. We can do an altitude select with a vertical descent rate of 1, 2. We'll pull back on the throttles a bit. And we could actually go to minimum with these ones. No point having them on anything higher. In terms of anything else, we're descending 3004. So it is basically the same to what we have now. What can we see from this direction? Well, you can see that it's a very big island. Looks like it's a bit more barren on this side, while this one I guess is been protected through a little slope here, a bit more green, the big one there. So yeah, very interesting. Seems like there's some buildings. I mean, photoreal really does make things much better. I'll start stacking up on photoreal for X-Plane as well if I buy a new. And this time, if I'm gonna buy a new SSD, I'm gonna make sure it's like a huge SSD, right? Like 8,000 gigabytes. I have too many of these 1,000, 2,000 gigabytes, and they're too tiny, unfortunately. Okay, and Hilo, we're coming in here, pretty good. We can descend, what's the one after it? 6,000 at Lychee. So we can already set that one. We can increase the descent rate a bit to 1.4. Oh yeah, the skids and these might be good. For landing, the synchro phase should be turned off. Will I remember that? I don't know. Hopefully. Yeah. I don't know. Can you switch this to the landing one? We can choose what the landing flaps. Let's go with full. That will be the safest option. This one. Yeah, what's this for? Is this play select channel? Is this for playing like cassettes? Maybe not. Okay, we're coming here. I really don't think this photoreal is as good as the P3 one, but I'm wondering if it's not the photoreal, but maybe the creator of the photoreal. Could be. Maybe it's a lower LOD as well. That does make a huge difference. I usually use 14 when I create my own orthos, but I know, for example, through Earth, I think it's 15, right? Generally speaking, maybe a bit higher on the lower places, or let's say the places that are more common. Okay, it looks pretty good. We're now at Lono. And Lich is 6,000. It looks like we're on track. And we're below the 250 knots speed. From the outside it really looks pretty good. I mean, maybe not all the fine details, right? But you have like a generally well crafted airplane. Look at this weather as well. God, I really love the weather of X-Plane 12. It's just gotten better and better, right? That's the main positive. Now I'm not even using any of those mods, and the reason is just because it's updating so often, right? Yeah, let's fasten the seatbelt signs. Maybe we can put these to the side instead, just to make sure they're not too much in the way. But yeah, this one flies relatively well. I'll give it a. It's in the Hall of Good. I mean, the texture-wise, that could be updated, right? If texture-wise, I would say it's Hall of very good, and of course default FMC. That's always. Even though the one in X-Plane is pretty good, it's like the ISG gauge, so it's not bad. But today's day and age, there should be at least a bit more updated one. Okay. Still descending, still looking good. Still ample time. We wanna be at 6,000 for a while. I'm gonna add a bit more thrust. Don't think we should overspeed, we'll soon be at our... We can maybe even descend a bit slower, because there's no rush. And do we have anything else here? Nope. The problem, I guess we could remove the pilot, see what it looks like. Co-pilot display off. You have some buttons. Are these? Yeah, these must be the circuit breakers, right? So that's pretty cool. At least those are modeled. I mean, it's just I mean, like these details pretty nice, but then like this wall, Looks totally just like a block. So I mean, if they really made those better, that would be pretty cool. Normal. Let me get the co-pilot display back. Feels a bit nicer to have someone sitting with you. Oh, this is pretty cool. So you can even have the FMS as a pop-up display. I guess this is good for VR, or not that I would use that. But yeah, smart to have it like that. Maybe a bit of a cleaner look, and then it would work even more perfectly. Okay, we're soon at 6,000. We have altitude select. 6,000 is our altitude select. We're below 10,000, so I guess we can put on the approach and flare. Or is there a different one? Is there one landed? These are the landing lights, right? I'll do the taxi one as well, just so we have everything. So at Litchi we should be at 6,000 or above. Cannabis we should be at 4,000. We are now leveling off. Speed wise it's still looking fine. We are getting closer and closer to Hilo. But this is the crazy part, right? It's a very short flight. But it's still not that short. So you have a lot of, you can do a lot of different flights. I think the big airports is the one, of course, here in Honolulu. Down here by the water. I guess the amount of runways give it away. There's some here as well. I think this is an old military one. And there used to be an airport here as well, right? But I think they shut that down. Then the other big one is, of course, the one we flew from, Kahului. And then Hilo is a big one. I think there's one up here as well that's pretty big. This one, Keyhole. Yeah, I'm not gonna try, I'm gonna butcher Keyhole. Keyhole, something like that. And then, yeah, sorry, hopefully I didn't offend anyone with that. Just bad pronunciation. And then Lihue, or Lihue. I think this one is also a pretty big airport. And then you have like a lot of small ones. Some islands are like this one in non-inhabited or non-inhabited. Same with this one. I think this one as well. So there's potential for more in the future if they start building stuff on those islands. But let's see. Okay, we have a course 105. About 6 nautical miles to go until Paris, and then Litchi, then Kens and Cabis, and then we're getting down. Now let me have a look actually, because I never did anything with the charts. The main thing we might want to set is the decision height. And can we set that with this aircraft? It's not a long, it's 288 for all different classes. Certainly you could set that, but maybe I wanna have TCAS. Maybe it's not possible. Could be a difference, of course, in. I'm just gonna change the. Just to see if we have anything on decision height, which we don't. Very interesting. Okay, so we can't set any decision height. We know what we have. I wish. I just can't believe there's nothing to set it. I might be missing it though, so let's give the benefit of the doubt. Up here maybe. Niet. Is the main battery dead or? It says, oh, but it's a load, right? Okay, We don't have that. We have localizer and all that. We should be down at 4,500. And coming out at 2,700 actually if we're doing the holding pattern. We'll be at Leahy in 4 nautical miles. So very soon. Maybe I can set some nice viewpoints. So I think I have now 5 of them, but maybe I can do some further ones. Oh, that was interesting. Went through the roof a bit. Maybe one here. Maybe do one on the outside. I usually don't do that. It's a bit slow. I know there's some way to speed it up, but I always forget what button is. Or maybe we can do like an outside one. If we go above like this. I can at least save this so I can tweak it at a later stage. So let's see the different viewpoints. Yeah, some nice ones. Okay, and we should be descending to 4,000 now. So let's put that in the altitude select. Let's start descending. At Sekob we should go to. So yeah, we will be at 2,700. I think there's no. It's a direct in. Yeah, no holding pattern, but I guess there's a holding. Yeah, afterwards. Which is not too surprising. No, sorry, this is not no. God, how could I think this is a cassette player? This is. I guess this is for the some of the information, right? Don't know what they're called though. Collins, though, of course. I guess I got too much thinking about the Learjet that I flew, the one by Extreme Prototypes, and that does have a cassette player. Okay, about 20-30 nautical miles. Slow and steady, taking its sweet time. Big change in altimeter actually. We're now at 3008. In terms of anything else we need to prep, not sure actually. Flight, we have those. Okay, the automated brakes. Can you arm the? You can't arm the emergency brake. But maybe the emergency that's just the parking brake, right? There's no spoilers on these aircraft, right? There's no need for it, right? I wonder though what difference spoilers would make in terms of having that installed on these type of aircrafts. Or maybe there is landing spoilers, maybe with the later models. Let me go up to max, just because I am pretty sure that certain that that's the standard operating procedure to have that on max as you get or as you're doing the landing. Let's hope we have no issues with the landing gear. They are renowned for it. The Majestics, or sorry, not the Majestics, the Bombardier and Dash 8s. I think SAS even stopped flying them because of that issue. unfortunately. Still looking good. We'll soon need to start ascending towards 27,000. Oh, wait. Didn't I select altitude select? That's a bit awkward. Let's climb back up. Sorry about that, guys. Small mistake from me. That's why it's so important to have altitude select. Let's climb a bit faster. We can sacrifice some speed for that. But yeah, a bit of a failed descent there from my part. Okay, we're at 4,000. Let's slow down a bit, or push the throttles back a bit. Let's zoom in. Let's set 2,700 in our altitude. And let's prepare for descent, starting in approximately 2 nautical miles. Which I think it's an altitude above 4,000, right? We can actually start throttling back a bit. We don't need to be going as fast. That will give us some more time to think things through. 1.4. So yeah, it might look like we're going past Hilo, but we're just coming back. 0, 7, 6, 5. Now it's resetting. We'll go to start descending at a rate of 1,000. Let's see if that's enough. That is enough. Hallelujah. And what we can do is we can follow this and then do the heading mode once we're on the final. I'm gonna continue to throttle back. I'll increase a bit the descent rate. Anything else we need to do? I think that should be fine. Maybe we can do the prepare for landing. Yeah, do prepare. Okay, we're soon at the speed we want to be. Here we can see the VREF flaps, so it's like 90 knots. So it's quite, yeah, you can have quite a low approach speed. Let's turn in, and after that we can then set up the ILS, aka changing from this aux to the VL, and then, not sure if this is correct, but I do hope it is. Okay, let's see, we're now gonna be turning to the right. We'll continue to slow down. I'm gonna add flaps 5 just to create a bit of drag. And look at that. One of the aircraft carriers. Imagine that. The Japanese, they couldn't find them, or they were unfortunate, but we were not. A reference to Pearl Harbor, if that was unclear. And apparently I forgot to do the... Yeah, so we've been descending too much. Not the end of the world, even though a bit dumb. Let's put heading mode on. I'll put the VL with that. Yes, that's perfect. And then we can select this. What was it? 259, right? Okay, we are getting really slow now on speed. I'll drop some more. 259. That should work for the approach. Let's see if we can see the airport. We can. We are a bit off though. We can have that still activated. Let's add a bit more speed. Wait, let's see, I'm gonna take manual control. Something went... There we go. So that should be correct. Autopilot, heading. Come on, mistrim, nose up. Yeah, but give me the heading select, and then approach. Yeah, okay, look at that, we're way too high now, but at least we got it activated, so that's good. For some reason I managed to screw this course selection up quite a bit. So let's try to get this one to the correct. Now we can add the approach. What's it doing with the trim? Oh, the trim is crazy. Look at that trim. Jesus Christ. Okay. We're gonna wing this a bit. I don't know how that happened. Must have been since I pressed the go around button probably. Luckily we are quite nimble, so we can just kinda do this the correct way. Of course, getting the sync rate warnings is never
Too high.
good.
Too high.
I know we're too high, and
Approaching 26.
I guess we can keep the yaw dampeners. I'm not sure how good the flight model is on this one, I mean, considering what we just did, but oh well, could be worse. Okay, we're on pretty good now. I mean, the beginning of this approach was fine, and it got atrocious, and now we're salvaging it. Baby steps, right? 200. Oh, it looks pretty good, this airport. I guess it's just the default one. 100. Okay, let's see. I've never landed this one before, so this will be a bit interesting. We're a bit... Let's try to keep at least on the runway. We seem to have managed to do that, so that's nice. Yeah, we don't need that. The thrust reversers sounded pretty close to the real thing, so that was nice. Okay, I think we survived. We made it. Not my most proudest moment, but I will have to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Please remain in your seat with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft has been parked to the gate and the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. This will be your only indication that it's safe to stand together your personal belongings. All these caution fields, the overhead bins, items do have a tendency to shift during flight. For those of you wishing to use your cell phones, it is now safe for you to do so. As a reminder, your laptop computers must remain stood until we're parked at the gate. It has certainly been our pleasure bringing you today. Looks like you
My
have
God,
an absolutely
that's
gorgeous
way
day
too
ahead
loud.
of you. We certainly hope what your future plans call for your travel that you'll once again select Delta Airlines. Thank you and have a great time here.
Way too loud. I need to find something with this Luke air tool. It just seems to spew out too loud all of those voices and thingy. I miss my Pack X. It wasn't the best. I think Luke air tool is better, but it worked. Okay, let's see now. Now we did that. Start. And then the generator one. Let me have a look here. Okay, let's wait a bit. So yeah, still a pretty good freeware. Some mistakes, but mainly because I haven't flown this in a while and I haven't really paid too much attention to how it's supposed to be flown. I mean, I know the Q400, right? But this one is I mean, similar but different as well. I don't know the fight model right. The Dash one is quite highly considered, right? I'm not sure if this one has the same. I know the or the Fly JSIM one is pretty good. But that's about it. Okay, let's put on those. Now we should have the what's it called? Let me see, can we park here somewhere, or am I... Oh, actually there might be some sort of parking, not sure what exactly though. Is that like tiny? Maybe it's like the commuter parkings, right? We'll just go into one of these hole or circles and stop there, I guess. Maybe the one furthest away. Somewhere here, right? I'm not sure how they are supposed to work, these ones, but whoop, that could do. I mean, not the best land or best parking, but good enough. Let's see if we can shut things down, and we could do that. Very nice. We should turn the lights off as well. But yeah, I think that's it for the flying part. Let's have a look at the replay just to see the atrocious landing and the atrocious I'm gonna speed up this part just because here we start going wrong. I take manual control, start going back, but we start going up because the trim is set to something crazy. I start to try to push it down until I realize that the trim is full steam up. Well, Yeah, we're getting some weird. I think that's when I realized the trim was off. Finally managed to fix that. We're coming down. I mean, it's pretty good though, the X-plane flight model. You know, you get these things that I don't think you really see in P3D sometimes. Which, you know, the specific aircrafts might have a good flight model, but in X-plane I think it's just how it all interacts, which is pretty nice. So yeah, here we're coming down. A bit steep. Do we manage to flare? We do, but we should flare much more. Okay, it was fine. We got with the back wheels actually first, so that's pretty good. How does this approach look from these other perspectives? Well, how does it feel, maybe? Where do we get down? There we got down. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Ah, well, pretty good. Pretty good. So yeah, not my best flight overall, not gonna lie. But I hope you at least enjoyed seeing this aircraft and just getting kind of a feel for it. In this, or in the way you can. I mean, if you have X-plane, get it. It's free. Doesn't hurt to try, right? And some of you might. I mean, I'll definitely fly this more times. I mean, it's my second best turboprop I have in X-plane. I would say I haven't really tried the Dornier yet. That's also freeware. But apart from the, well, I guess I have the Kodiak 100. That's pretty good. I haven't done a flight with that yet. And then I have the J-Roll Jetstream 32. But this is still, yeah, it's a pretty decent aircraft. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments. Oh, and now I can hear the wind in the game as well. Very interesting. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Otherwise, until next time, bye bye.